Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener, or the episode that almost wasn't. I just really had no card making mojo today. I need to make a card for the Craft Roulette Challenge this past Friday, episode number 226. If you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, I will have a link to that episode below. It's an amazing show. It really makes you think outside your comfort zone for card making and scrapbooking. And other crafting. But today, this episode has really floored me, and I've been through the ringer trying to think of what I was going to do. So I just came down and looked through my old supplies, and I stumbled across one of the old Spellbinders card making kits of the month. I don't even remember what month it was because I take them apart, but it was a So Happy, and it came with a pad of paper. It has ephemera pieces, stickers, and things I don't normally use. So this is how much ephemera it came with. It came with a whole bunch. It's mainly sewing related, but there are some knitting and crochet in here, and that's what I'm opting to use today. For Craft Roulette, we needed to make something that was see-through, and I didn't want to do a shaker card or anything with the window, so I found these stickers that I have that are flowers, and they are see-through. They are translucent, clear, so whatever you put them behind will show through. But I also have these see-through edge stickers that are scalloped, and they have a metallic glitter in them. So that's what I'm going to use for my see-through option on this card. We also needed to make something in the colors of jungle, and that floored me. I didn't want to do a random old regular jungle, so I searched on the internet and I found a pink jungle that had like 3 different shades of pink and 3 different shades of green. So I'm going with a pink jungle for my theme. And the element had to be teach, teacher, teaches, something in the teaching category. So I'm going to make a birthday card or a thank you card for the person who taught me how to knit all those years ago. And then random, it has to have a tangle on it somewhere. And that's not going to be difficult because yarn gets tangled up everywhere. So let me get going. And this is really, it's still not together in my mind. I have a few parts that I want to use, but it's going to be made up as we go along here today. So you're going to watch this creative or not so creative mojo disintegrate. I chose this bright green cardstock, which measures 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the 5-inch mark, folded it, and creased it with my bone folder. Then I have a simple piece of white cardstock, which measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. That'll go right on the front. And then from this pattern pack from Spellbinders, I chose this yellow floral. And I cut this at, I want to say this is 2.5 inches by 6 inches, yes. And then I have just another piece of white cardstock. I'm going to kind of place it here. This measures 3 by 4.5. That's the basic card layout. Everything else is going to be stamps and ephemera. Now, I'm using the Simon Says stamp set. I forget the name of it. It's like Love, or Yarn Love. And so this is going to get stamped on. So, and I've pulled out a few pieces of the ephemera. I pulled out a couple of flowers, some balls of yarn, some knitting needles. I'm not sure what I'm using yet, other than I do love this flower. And I kind of want this flower to go down here in the bottom corner. And then there's a stamp. My doctor recommended more fiber, so let's buy more yarn. That's going to go on here. I know that is. And I kind of want it to arc around this flower, and I think it will arc in there nicely. But I also want to put, I think this yarn ball and the knitting needles. And I want this to go kind of like here. So let's get those 2 items down. This is the only thing I know I want on this card. Have you ever had the day where you just kind of lost your mojo? And I gave up multiple times. went upstairs, did something else, came back downstairs, and nothing was coming to me. Not a thing. Sometimes I'll get ideas while I'm sleeping, or before I go to sleep, I try to think of something to let my mind wander, but it was not a good night for sleeping, and it was a night for nightmares, so that didn't go over too well. And I think that's what's got my mojo gone this morning, is I just didn't sleep well. All right. Now, I'm going to color this. I'm going to set my stamping platform off to the side for just a minute. Now, I know I want to color, I picked out some greens and pinks that were in the online color palette that I saw. And I want to do the yarn in a bright green. Let's see, I'll use the smaller version first. Pardon me while I stop talking while I'm coloring. I don't want to screw up anymore today. Now I'm going to take the knitting needles and I'm going to make them a dark green, because this palette that I saw was 3 shades of green and 3 shades of pink. So I've got the 3 shades of green in here. If you look up Pink Jungle color palette, that's the one I used. And then I want to make the needle caps this bright hot pink. Okay. I'm just going to let that dry a moment. Now the only thing I know I want on here right now is this flower and then the needles, because they have the dark green on them also. Now I do have to put in the element for see-through. So, do I just want to add some flowers, maybe to the background here? Let's just pull one off and see. Oh, I'm going to put one right here. All right. There's not a lot on here. I've already used a lot from this palette. I do need another saying up here. So I want to pull up the Ephemera stickers. I like thank you so much, but it is sewing related and I want to do this knitting related. There's a thank you, have a ball. It's your birthday, have a ball. I wonder how this would look. Oh, this is going to go on this card, but the option is where. Might be across that flower. Okay, so that's going on that card. All right, so I've got that sentiment on there. Now, I don't think I want that flower, because I want to put that sentiment right over that. And I'm not too worried about the sticky coming off this, because I'm going to add a couple of layers of paper behind that. Now I've got some balls of yarn. I don't know. Might be too much. Too much going on all at once. I don't even need these knitting needles anymore. Oh, I think there was like a flag. Yeah. Do what you love. See, it's hard when you don't have your mojo. But we're going to make it work here. How about love this? This is going right here. I do love that. That's an appropriate thing. Okay. Let's see. I need something here, so maybe another one of these see-through flowers. Okay. All right. I'm going to shove this together now. And then I'll figure out the rest as I go along. Definitely not my usual style. So this challenge has really put me way out of my comfort zone. And I don't know why. Now this one, I'm going to pop that up just a smidgen, not hardly at all. So I'm going to use my 1/8 inch foam strips here. And I'm just going to put a couple pieces behind it. Want that kind of, yeah, right like that. Almost needs something. That's putting way too much stuff in there. No, actually that, I like that. Okay, those knitting needles are going in. This card's going to be over embellished, but that's okay. I'm going to have the needle stick out at the bottom of the flower. Then you can't see the word yarn. There we go. All right. Definitely too much embellishment. So don't want, yes, I do want that flower. It's going to be weird. Now for this birthday, I'm going to cut a couple of just thin strips. And I'm just going to cut them right here. I think I'll do 3. Glue these together. And I can trim the edge off. Going to go right across there. Now this looks randomly weird, and that's okay. Doesn't need much embellishment because I've got a lot of other stuff on it. Okay, I'm going to take one of these dark green little ones to put in the center of the see-through flower, and then one of the pale greens. And then that one's going to get a pink one. So I cover all aspects of my pink jungle card here. And let's see. Let's take one of these random ones and put where that button is. There. I like that better. Okay, this is strange. And I didn't even glue that. You know what? I never glued down this big sheet of paper. I am now. Gluing this down on top of it kept it in place. Okay, now let's glue that. Okay, this is a little bit of a strange ranger for me. It's not too bad. I am going to add my wing Castell though. I'm going to make this yarn sparkle. Why not? Okay, that's my card for this Craft Roulette Challenge. Let me see if I have met through all the parameters. See-through. Yes, these flowers are see-through. Jungle theme, I went with the pink jungle, and it has 3 shades of pink, which this has 3 shades of pink in it, and 3 shades of green. So I go on to, yeah, I've got several shades of green here. Teacher teaches. This is for a birthday card for the lady who taught me how to knit all those years ago. That covers that. And oh, tangle. There's not a tangle on here. Okay, we need to add a tangle. I really am not good at Zen tangling. So I am going to take a pen. Let's see. I will use my extra small, and I'm going to make a swirly pattern on the scissor handle. How about that? So it's a good thing I went over this because I hadn't met all the parameters. Now they've got a Zentangle pattern on the scissor handle, and it really doesn't look horrible. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I promise tomorrow will be a much better card, I hope. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. There's my tangle on the scissor handle. Not too bad.